go.
Okay.
All right.
What do you got?
I have a French one. The Bal des Ardents.
I love when you do French. It's just the best.
I'm a stupid American. Bal des Ardents. Is that better?
Is it the Ardennes Forest?
Ardents.
No.
Ardents.
No, different.
No.
Yeah.
I thought I was there with you. Buddy.
Yeah, no, it's not the Ardennes. So this is.
Do you want to give a disclaimer for when you slaughter pronunciation? Because I do it all the time. It actually, oddly enough, helps with engagement because people wind up messaging me and they're like, "Hey, so I'm Spanish. Can you just stop trying to say this word?" It would be huge for me. I love your show, just stop doing it.
You should hear him try to pronounce Greek words.
Oh, it's I
hard.
butcher it. It's so bad.
Yeah, you pretty much to speak any like those languages, you pretty much have to be like in the process of hawking a loogie, and then,
Yeah.
and then for some reason,
It's like who's that?
Agamemnon.
Agamemnon. I
There
have
you
to like
go.
really say it slowly.
Yes.
I can't just say his name.
It's like
It's,
a month.
it's there, dude. It's you understand why Latin became popular. Latin's actually easy by comparison.
English supposedly is one of the hardest languages, right?
That's what they say.
I'm biased. I speak it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think it means we're better than everybody else.
Yeah, of course. Goes without saying.
But so this is France. We are in 1393.
Oh,
All right.
it was a very good year.
So Charles the Sixth. This is King Charles the Sixth.
Mhm.
He is known as kind of a mad king. So he was supposed to be king when he was 12, but like his uncle kind of took over. When he became 18, he became king.
Yeah, Stewart.
Yeah, you know, someone was in charge before him, and then until he was 18, then he took power.
Never really ends well when
Yeah.
you take power young.
So he's 18, he becomes king, and one day he's on a hunting trip, and he starts like twitching, going nuts, freaking out. Everyone's like, "What the fuck?" And he's like screaming about like all this weird shit. Everyone's like, "What the fuck is going on with him?" They think now he may have been schizophrenic.
Okay.
But back then they didn't know what the fuck was going on
He's
with
possessed.
him. Yeah, he's just screaming his head off, being a maniac.
Mm-hmm.
They bring him back in, they take care of him. He develops insane paranoias as time goes on. He thinks that he is made of glass.
Oh, yeah. I know this guy.
You know this guy.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, if you know how the story ends, don't.
He fights Henry V. We talked about him when we did The King.
Yeah, but this is a particular story.
Okay.
So he thinks that he is actually made of like physical glass.
Yeah.
He has them build like metal rods into his clothing to like help his limbs so he can move and
Yes,
stuff,
he's
right?
afraid of shattering.
Yeah, he honestly thinks he's glass. So at this time, there's a real growing divide between the regular people and the nobles.
Mm-hmm.
They're like,
Age-old story.
yeah, but they're really like, what the fuck is going on up there? This fucking king
We're being
is-
run by a maniac.
Yeah, the guy thinks he's glass.
Mhm.
Like, we hate this. And he's really not going out. Eventually, there's going to be a wedding. This girl is having, like, some relation is having a third
Royal wedding.
Yeah. The guy's brother shows up and is like, hey, this is a third wedding. Like, it's not expected to be like this super high class ordeal because it's a third wedding.
Mhm.
You know, it's like less special. So they're like, we can go and just kind of fuck around. I got these costumes for us. We're going to dress as woodsmen, like creatures made of wood. So it's like made of bark and all this, right? You are going to cover ourselves in dry wood and tar.
This is very strange.
Yeah. They cover themselves in dry wood and tar. They chain themselves together. And they're going to fuck with everybody and say they're wood spirits. And because they're in masks and surrounded by wood, like, we can fuck with people, yell at people. No one's going to know it's us. You know, we could bust everyone's balls, right?
It's
Sounds-
a big gag.
It's a big gag.
Fun to do at someone's wedding.
They show up at the wedding.
Should have done it at yours.
They start causing hell.
Mhm.
They're like kicking things over. They're cursing everybody. And people are like, who the fuck are these wooden people
Right.
that are chained together? Now some people that like were involved were told that they're gonna be there. Keep fire away from them, because if fire touches them,
Wood.
they're going to ignite. They're covered in tar
Yeah.
and wood.
Yeah.
So as they're fucking with people, the guy, Charles's brother, shows up late, and he didn't get this memo.
The dolphin.
And he's holding a torch,
Oh my god.
and he's like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
Didn't get the memo.
And he leans closer to try to decide to see who it is.
Mhm.
An ember flies off, hits one guy.
And
He ignites.
bursts into
It
flames.
spreads throughout the whole chain. All the dudes chained together are screaming on fire as they're being engulfed.
burn the
Well,
people
this is a
of the wood.
prank gone bad.
Yeah, in the woods,
Yeah.
it's just Alex shot. You see the Bohemian Grove? There's a pagan ritual.
They got a wood man. They got a wicker man.
Oh, man.
There's bees. So they're screaming in terror. They're chained together. No one can get out.
It's a good wedding.
This is a great scene.
Yeah. One guy jumps into like a barrel of wine. He ends up living because like he doused
Wine.
himself. And a 14-year-old girl, some relative of the king, knows it's him, and she throws like a blanket or towel on him, and she's able to put him out. Everybody else roasts alive. One guy lives for like 3 days in excruciating agony. Supposedly, guests said they saw their genitals burn off and fall to the floor
Nice.
as they were at the party.
What a wedding.
Yeah. I just picture, The Shining, where the guy's like, hell of a party.
Great party.
Yeah.
My God. Is that like top disasters that could happen at your wedding outside of like other things? Like that's pretty bad.
I mean, like 9 dudes immolating has to be up there, right?
Good
It
word.
was six people.
I was gonna say it was 9 of them.
So it was 4 people burnt together. So this is what they had. The costumes were sewn onto the men. They were made of linen soaked with resin and flax.
God.
Oh, something old, something new. There
Yeah.
you go. Yeah.
The
and
joke is so bad too. Like we're gonna be wood people and kick things.
just fuck with people. Yeah. It was just they wanted to be assholes and get away with it.
Uh-huh.
So they're like Gen Zers doing pranks.
Getting smacked by
Yeah.
bodybuilders.
So they light up. Eventually, word of this spreads to the fucking people,
Yeah.
and they hear about this fucking insanity,
All right.
and they hate the nobles even more.
Mhm.
They're like, you're putting on weird costume parties, immolating people,
Yes.
and we're here fucking suffering.
In the
And it
100
just-
Years' War.
Exactly. And it kind of just furthers the divide a bit.
Mm.
And that is known as the Bal des Ardents.
I have never heard of that.
Yeah.
It's a horrible wedding.